there's different circles. You know what I'm saying? Oh no, circles. Would you say circles? Different,
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I was more known in the more the gospel concert.
Well, you've
circles.
got the black church.
Yeah.
And then you've got the white church,
you went there.
or right, and they don't.
Yeah.
For some reason,
Yeah.
and even amongst themselves, they don't communicate amongst the different denominations. But it's strange that there is this invisible division, and no one seems to be able to put their finger on it.
Affinity Xtra, be extra.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are personal and do not necessarily represent the views of Affinity Xtra.
Yeah. People, this is your boy here, watching more on Affinity Xtra, celebrating gospel music of black origin. And I am here with a special guest. Let me just set this up, guys. Nice and sweet. And this is how we do it. Now, you know me. I've been chilling right now in 2025. And I thought, you know what? I need to come back with a bang. And I did a little exploratory thing here with one of our presenters who's from back in the day, in the 90s, when rap, you know what I mean, in the mid to late 90s, in the formative years of urban gospel as we see it now. And one of the biggest frustrations is everybody talking some modern truth about urban gospel, not realize there's a lot of history, dead bodies. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know, literally dead spiritual bodies because of the struggle we used to be. So what I'm doing at the moment is going to be doing something throughout this year, and we'll create a playlist of conversations throughout this year where we're going to have conversations with people who were there. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? People that grow into there and even have something still to share. You know what I'm saying? Man, I feel like a rapper right there. And you see when there's some rhythms going on. But ultimately, you know what I mean, there's there. Now, I'm from Birmingham, as people will know. Now, I always put it out there. Says, yes, I am known for my exploits within the rap scene, 100%. But what I do, but people have to realize is that I wasn't born and bred a rap. I couldn't do a rap on the stage to save my life, to be honest. I'll be struggling. But we're here to use this amazing platform to get to so much youth out here in the Midlands and wider music. Just being part of music in the digital era you really have a sense of how you can impact people all around the world. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? And it just gives you a lift, an encouragement, because sometimes in your hometown, a lot of times in your hometown, you are rejected. So when out of town, outside, people put comments on your videos, on this over the years, it's a blessing.
Very encouraging.
No,
yes.
100%. So just giving you a bit of context to my guest today. Now, over the years, right, so I would say definitely I'm the commercial urban gospel guy. So I'm the guy that people more know in the Midlands when it comes at nationally and in the rap scene. But I was not kidding myself. There was something. There's other people around doing amazing work at the time. Now, I remember I've heard this thing about this insect that I know, we call it praying mantis. I was like, praying mantis? Rappers call him praying mantis. I'm talking back in the day. You know what I'm saying? And let me be real. Praying mantis, I had no, especially, it wasn't really a bait. You're not a bait social media guy. You know what I'm saying? So there's no face. There's no MySpace. You have to go back to MySpace. There's no real. If I do go to anything, it's an album cover. It's a single cover. It's, who's this guy? Where's he from? Oh, he's from the end. He's from Birmingham. Here around me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I ain't seen him before. It was almost like there was two worlds going on, and you were surveying and going through a crazy. So this guy got Praying Mantis to up there. Then I went to a wedding of somebody that we do both mutually know, yeah, and we got dumped to the same table, yeah.
That's right.
And then we couldn't stop talking.
Chopped it up.
How on earth have we missed each other? And it shows you guys how you can think that you're impacting so many people, that you think that you know, there's other worlds out there, and I know you have been releasing music. I know you've done events that's going on and whatsoever. And I'm like, yo, this is crazy. So part of my study is with the knowledge that you're still dropping music, still performing, still but still keeping it real with the lyrics, with life journey and the struggles of just being part of a generation that our eyes have been open to the real world. We're part of that generation where tradition has been broken.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, we traditionally when it comes to not only music but marriage, mental knowledge about mental health, physical health, well-being,
education,
spirituality, education, everything's changed. So we're part of a generation which all our friends are left church, almost our age group. Majority of people we could say that we saw around us 25 years ago have left church. So I'm along somebody called his stage name is Praying Mantis, and I'm just gonna get him to introduce how he just give a context of when you came in to see him and how you came to Christ and what were you dropping, man? What stuff are you dropping? Because by the way, I spoke to another guy, and I'm gonna put him part of this thing because there's a young man, a bigger man to us called Joel. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And you know, and let's be real, man, 100%, guys. Yes, we celebrate gospel music of black origin, but trust me, we do have amazing, talented guys who are not black. You know what I'm saying? That actually supported the cause better than people who are skin folk. 100%. You know what I'm saying? That get the vision. And Joel was 100%, man set up ciphers. Cipher. Now, I know you was all into that stuff. I never went to that at all, but you guys were in a different stratosphere. And it was almost the rap, the real underground rap scene that came from the 90s into the early 2000s and effectively died off because of UK rap.
Oh dear, grime.
Thanks to Wiley. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And Kano wannabes. But so we won't out anybody, any gospel acts out. But bro, tell us, you know, when did it all start for you?
Right. It all started around about 1998 with myself, Lorna Harris, who at that time had just finished singing with the Metalheads and Goldie. So she was doing drum and bass, touring in that. She had a very bad taste in her mouth about the industry. She'd been around industry folk. So and also Darkwater Quartz, who also knows Joel the Custodian. So we formed a collective called Children of the Last Days, COLD, Children of the Last Days for short.
That's in 98?
In 98.
In Birmingham?
In Birmingham.
Crazy.
2000, we released the album, A Glimmer Through the Glacier. Now, at that time, I wasn't a baptized Christian.
Okay.
So I'd been brought up, mother Christian, dad's not. He's an atheist. Agnostic, maybe slightly, but
was your mom Church of Anglican, Church of all actual Pentecostal?
My mum, when she came to the faith, my mum is has a military background.
Okay,
so
cool.
As a child, she was moving around all over the world with her parents. So she had no problem crossing over barriers of culture, nationality.
Of course, she's seen it all.
In fact, she enjoyed mixing it up with people that weren't like herself so that she could gain more knowledge and experience that thing we call variety, the spice of life. So she can taste new food, taste new cultures, and in return, they can taste her food and they can taste her culture. Boom. And it's a transaction and everybody's happy. Now, because of her attitude towards that obviously helped me growing up in the inner city. Being one of the
only... So which sides of Birmingham was your home?
I'm a peri-barbarian.
Okay. So he's don't want to bait you out, but which school did he go to?
So initially, I went to Holy Trinity School on Havelock Road. That's my primary school.
Okay. All right. See, cause I was a bit more bougie in terms of my senior school. I went Barbican.
All right. So that's blessed on the hill.
Yeah. On the hill, you know.
I was in the valley. My mom shipped me out to Walsall Bluecoat.
No.
Comprehensive school, and I was expelled in the second year, and then I was moved to St. Albans in Highgate.
Wow, that's a bit drastic.
Very drastic.
Crazy. Sorry, guys, if you're thinking, why are these guys talking schools? Because I'm going blue coat. We had 5 fights against them. I'm not saying I was involved, but you know, you have
the cock of the year
yeah. So we like back in the day, you know, like if school fights was like, yo,
Standard procedure.
You know what I'm saying? It's
standard
like,
procedure.
It's like, yo, guys coming from Lecky.
Yeah,
You remember Lecky?
yeah,
Yeah, Joseph
yeah,
Lecky.
Lecky.
You know, say Lecky, blue coats, Dowls, Queen Mary's.
Mary's.
Oh, no, we don't worry about that. I'm a grammar school boy. I'm
Yeah,
South,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying the South, man. But no.
Dartmouth High.
Yeah, Dartmouth High. Yeah. Great bar.
Yeah.
Great bar school.
Yeah.
Yeah. They won that, and he had yeah, man. So we had all the schools. So that's cool. The reason why for that, guys, it's important because you got to know which side of Birmingham, because there's 2 sides of Birmingham and there's 2 different lives in Birmingham. If you don't live on our side of Birmingham, it's a different life, man. Trust me.
That's right.
So that's cool.
Right.
Cool.
So I grew up knowing about the
Just
Lord.
talk more in the mic
I grew
first.
up knowing about the Lord.
That's sweet,
but
man. Yeah.
I didn't really follow him like that. It was difficult coming to faith through my mom's example, because growing up as a young man, I wanted it to be shown through my dad. How does a man flex in day-to-day life, dealing with the struggles as a believer? And I didn't have that around me, so I ended up with the wrong kind of role models in my life. Long story short, I was married in 2003. I had my son the same year as well. And fatherhood just brought a new perspective
Okay, nice.
to life, and also that understanding of the father and son relationship. So then I started getting serious about my faith, and in 2008 I was baptized. And you'll see a shift, a slight shift in the content of my music. So from 2000 to 2008, I was talking conscious,
Okay.
Christ consciousness.
Yeah. But that's quite interesting, bro, because this is what some people don't realize, that when you see young people on the stage, they're not necessarily at the place where they need to be spiritually, but they're going through a journey. So you're working with musical talent, and Joel has always been connected to Christ in such a way, but they felt no way of working with talented people.
Absolutely.
And you know what I'm saying, from literally
From the get-go.
from till 98 all the way to 2008, if he had said to you, nah, you haven't been baptized, filled with the Holy Ghost, so nah, we don't
Imagine that.
don't touch the mic, wouldn't we having this conversation
Imagine
now?
that.
So that journey, and this is what, guys, I always kind of emphasize that what is really salvation about is salvation, looking at it from a reflective process or a forward perspective. Salvation is like, when you're saved and you die in Christ, boy, that's saved. You know what I'm saying? Don't get gassed about getting baptized, because there's a lot of journey left to go. You know what I'm saying? A lot of
And once you're his, he won't let go of you. He will chastise you if needs be. You'll get slapped up and smacked by life if needs be. Some of us, like myself, those who don't hear must feel. I'm that guy.
So going to the 90s, so when you bumped into this group now, was there because I remember Joel talking about there was like he did like youth kind of clubs, like youth group type scenario or whatsoever. So, or they had a bar scenario where they had talented people coming by and whatever.
That's correct. Cafes. Yeah, they had some cafe setups in town. They've got their base in, I think it's Ravenshurst.
Yeah.
Camp Hill or Cape Hill,
one of them sides. Yeah. So what so how did they see your talent? Was it a case of going, he did an open mic and I thought, this guy's got skills?
That's basically what it was. And Joel heard me. He heard because Joel was linked to Dark Water Quartz.
Okay.
AKA Tyrone T-Bone, and he's a graffiti artist. Now T-Bone, he was on a similar journey to myself. A truth seeker.
Okay.
And I believe he's still a truth seeker, although in my opinion, he should know the truth by now.
Yeah. No, 100%.
But man, he set up. He was setting up various little gatherings and gigs, which has now evolved into what they call the Sputnik event now. So it's still going, except they've expanded the range of people that they work with. So now it's not just rappers and musicians. Now it's painters, singers, dancers, people who do art, clay work, and every Christian that brings their creative gift to Sputnik tells their story
Yeah.
through the art and how they got there. Again, that journey, that walk with Christ. So that's what Joel and Johnny Mellor, Barrow Clough,
Yeah.
Mike Stork,
Okay.
talented guys in Mosley.
Mosley, like, yeah,
The Mosley Collective.
yeah, no, 100%. Mosley was always had that kind of like
Chilled out, creative
vibe.
It was the base for the hippies back in the 60s. So it's always been free spirited and creative.
Yeah, no, 100% they utilized it. So because obviously I bumped into the guys like with Shekinah and stuff like that. So you had the early days of like Denny CZ and there's a couple guys, DJ Jamo and all these guys. Now, when they were doing their stuff, did you bump into these guys?
Proclaimer.
You were saying you're more bumping into Proclaimer?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that was literally not in depth. My wife was a fan of his, listening to his
reggae
shows. That's right. And because it was reggae and he wasn't really hip hop orientated, he couldn't really do much with what I was showing him. Yeah. But yeah, good guy. Still, I believe he's still doing his thing as well.
Yeah, no, 100% now. Big man Proclaimer is doing his thing all day, every day. So what was? I'm asking loads of questions because I'm trying to get you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to get a real picture.
Let's go.
So when in the 90s now, you're working with Joel and whatever, you're in the communities. You pop into church maybe now and again at the same time, whatsoever. How was it? Right, you talking about Birmingham, late 90s. Now I just got married in 98. Yeah, so I just got married in 98, and I'm looking around and we was like, you had the gospel scene there, playing music. My wife was singing out there.
The live,
you know what I'm saying? Like
instruments.
the instruments and stuff.
Yeah,
that was going thriving. Choirs. Was there many platforms in Birmingham that you guys were going on stages in churches, or was it purely a bar situation?
So the Green Belt Festival.
Oh, you guys got onto Green Belt? That's not fair.
The Green Belt Festival was
I
one.
don't know Green Belt. Yeah. You all got to keep like big stage.
No. We were in a tent on the side.
Of course. Yeah. Oh, what am I saying that for? Back then there's
No, Hillsong. And then there was another event.
So when you did Green Belt, was there any artists then, so people can understand that you could say, yo, they were there? Was Delirious there? In there? Or you just doing business with them things?
So at that time, I wasn't even familiar, like fully. I was just focused on making music, trying to make good music. And at that time, I believed that I had something to share, but it was more lyrical than content with substance that you could relate to life and the walk of the journey of a Christian. So I wasn't explicitly Christian then.
No,
like I said. So another event we were invited to was one that actually Johnny's very active, Johnny Mellor. He's very active in events and festivals, Christian-based ones. He got me involved in one in Stoneleigh down in Coventry. I forget what that was called, but that was also similar to the Green Belt, several tents set up.
Wow.
He had a live band in one, different genres, and he set up the hip-hop tent, the spoken word, the rap. That was his tent. So that was...
it's interesting how, like for me, like you're a young guy, like this is a circuit that's I've never seen. If you know what I'm saying, I've never.
Well, you wouldn't unless you know. Yeah, you don't know.
You don't know. You know what I'm saying, and this is why I said this is why I said to people, it's just like I would say to some people that rappers that gone to these festivals, and they say to me, "Yo, why you been there?" I says, "No, I don't." You know what I mean? And they go, "Why not?" It's like there's different circles. You know what I'm saying? No, circles. Would you say circles? Different,
absolutely.
You know what I mean? Well, it's like I was more known in the more the gospel concert.
Well, you've
circles.
got the black church.
Yeah.
And then you've got the white church,
you went there.
Right, and they don't.
Yeah.
For some reason,
yeah.
And even amongst themselves, they don't communicate amongst the different denominations. But it's strange that there is this invisible division, and no one seems to be able to put their finger on it.
And I
think
okay. So I still feel no. I always say Christian music is like men in Farrah trousers. They're like stuck in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know, and
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? And the green belts of the world and whatsoever. Yeah, I'm not saying you can't link up with Joe. Yeah, but Joe's like said himself, like, yo, end of the day, you know, they're very skin tone biased, especially in the early days. You know what I'm saying? And the advantage was it's like the industry, and I put it out there. You know, you had the KG52s, the Brails of the world. You know what I'm saying? Whatsoever, they were coming up, and there was a bit of resentment with the black rappers because they were like, going, hold on a second, these guys, but. I love Braille. Yeah, Braille was talented. You know what I'm saying? He's a crazy rapper. And KG52, you know, he alright there still. You know what I mean? But and then when I worked at Tunnel Rats, they had a mixture of cultures in there. You had the Mexicans, you had Latinos, you had black guys.
Be. Christ culture is universal.
And 100%. And this is where I felt like in the UK we haven't maximized a rap. Yeah. The only ones who really maximize it, you know, back in the day when we was doing our things, yeah. You was doing your thing, yeah, with the greenback squeezes and whatever it is, and Mosley, yeah. Now I ain't going to no South Birmingham to be no rap cipher, but you guys were doing your thing still, and I'm doing my gospel in hands.
And that was only because Quartz had connected me.
Yeah.
So Quartz is from Handsworth, but he's not in the church. And he was linked to Joel, who was in the church. And then Joel, he got connected to my music, which was kind of part of the church. And that was the linkage.
But hear the joke though. I remember at the time when I first did Gospel for You, by around 2002, 3, there was somebody coming through, yeah? Up in Manchester doing his thing. LZ7. Do you remember him back in the day?
I do, but how long was he around for? Because I feel like
he's been around. He was asking me for local Midlands about you know, rappers and singers down in the Midlands and stuff. Yeah, from back then, Tribe was, yeah. And they have really maxed out. Because look at they're a massive model when it comes to urban music.
Right.
They've actually turned it into a ministry machine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Urban music stroke, you know.
Without moving to London.
They're straight Manchester, bro.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I've been up to the bases, Chris up there and whatsoever, but he's going back then seeing the power of rap and the pop kind of commercially R&B influenced R&B pop world and whatsoever that was coming through right then. He pounced on it and he did it. But again, the tough conversation is that how does a Joel, because effectively like Joel was doing his thing and I'm doing my thing in Birmingham. This is, me and Joel, we'll mash it up. It's ironic that, hold on a second, powers will be, it's almost like a case of they've kept in such a small town, but we never really bumped into each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it showed you the divide wasn't us.
No,
the divide was the church.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So you would have a black church and a white church right next to each other, but not even
no one's mixing.
No one's mixing,
sharing.
especially back then, 90s.
Crazy.
You would go to, I'm going to a white church to do something there. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to a black church to do something there. But they never mix, and they never mixed talent either.
Right.
Even if they had a mixed church, wouldn't mix talent.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't say, Roger, come and do this here because you're the expert in, or you're a connoisseur of black rap. They'd rather take it from you and do it themselves.
Yes.
Sorry, did I just put out something out there? But yes, but
you're banging nails on the head.
Because I figure I'm trying to get a pitch, guys. I just want you guys to get a pitch of how tough the awkward the scene is. Because Birmingham
very
has
disjointed.
1 million people in the city, you know, bro.
Yeah.
1 million, yeah. You see a thriving rap scene in London. You can argue and say we weren't that far behind them. If anything, we was moving the same time as them.
Yeah, absolutely. How
on earth, right now, we look left to right, and this body here, you're still releasing music, which is absolutely stupidly fantastic. But every time we release music, it isn't evolved from what we were doing 20 years ago. But in London, they continue kind of evolving a bit, but we're progressing way better than up here.
Yeah. Well, it seems as though that's where the power is.
Oh Lord.
And then from there, you go to the States. If you're successful in London, which is where more power is, and it's all about the power rather than the message and the movement.
Yeah,
And-
we're not talking about the TV program, but it's very similar. Yeah, it's the same thing really, but we can't say that.
And this I think is one of the paradoxes of the Christian artist. How do you generate authentic material, especially when you've gone past a certain level of notoriety and acclaim and fame, even money? How do you maintain that boots on the ground are still getting dirty in the trenches with your brothers and sisters, encouraging, motivating, supporting, discipling? How do you maintain that without becoming lofty and high and mighty? How?
Back in the day, going to green belts and stuff, there's a part of ministry which these guys don't have to worry too much about these days, is selling tapes, CDs.
You could do that from the back of a car.
Bro, like you got
A little store with your t-shirts,
listen, guys,
your merchandise.
Did you was it pure CDs you're coming from? Or
CDs.
CDs? Did you do any cassette tapes?
I wasn't, no.
A cassette tape? No,
I recorded some of my oldest stuff, but I
yeah.
never released any albums on tape.
Okay,
So,
cool. So CDs now, guys, you know, you get them now, and when you get the orders, you get the lugs and you get them sticks, like so you have like 25 in a box.
Come
yeah,
on.
you know what I'm saying? And you go to festivals and you have to shut like bro, like because you're not getting, because I'm assuming that you
Shrink
never had big
wrapped.
money. You didn't
Nah,
get no
man.
big, you didn't get no
No.
big money for the show. So the way to pay the petrol to get there or pay for your burger home is
Shutting CDs.
straight up. You know what I'm saying? And how much it costs you hundreds to get them all done.
It's about £1. Well, it depends what kind of artwork you wanted. Whether you wanted a double side dual case, when you wanted the slim case, like there was the different size cases.
Mate. And it's all live on printed, man. I like it pretty, man.
Off my memory, like for the best quality, I think it was around about £2 per unit,
And the thing is, we had to get barcoded as well, innit?
barcoded.
Oh,
I don't. You know what?
goodness sake.
I never bothered with the barcode.
you never bothered?
I never
yeah,
bothered.
Yeah. I went there. And when they said, do you want it shrink wrapped? You know what I mean?
I always had it shrink wrapped.
Yo, bro.
But that was just convenient, so it wasn't spilling all over the
Selling-
back of the car.
Selling CDs, guys, is like, I remember
Character building.
bro. Like
And you meet characters as well.
your
meet
launch is based upon them CDs. I remember I did Gospel for You, the launch, I'll never forget this, and you had all my cool people brought their friends and families to the thing, Bob. And in my corner of my eyes, I was at Newtown Community Centre, and I'm just watching the corner of my eyes, going, yo, there's people at the desk.
Is that in the days of Scooby?
Is
Was Scooby on the desk back then?
Oh, Scooby, yeah. Oh, Lord.
And T.
Lord, I'm dissing, bro. Damn it,
Those were my youth working days. I was in Newtown Community
Newtown Community Centre,
as a
yeah,
youth
man.
worker.
And there's so many shows that she kind of did there back then.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying? You know,
It was utilized, well utilized.
yeah. And it's like what? And the people are going to them things, bro.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and this is 90s going into the early 2000s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it was a great platform. And it was like we had to go underground. We had to go out there and be underground to kind
Survive.
of to do that. So I want to really get an idea of like, so you go and doing green belt now. You're developing and evolving in your walk. This is crazy to me, guys, because like, and it's not. And I am not doubting God's journey in life, because I've seen it too happen around me. You know what I'm saying? Now you're developing, get married, little one come true. You know what I'm saying? And now yourself. Now I know of you within the black church context.
That's
yeah?
right.
So you're talking to me. You're almost nurturing space was not in the black church context, even though your mum was culturally aware, but you're going to Greenbelt, bro. We don't do Greenbelt. Greenbelt is you go.
It was all black church. So
Go. Preach to me, bro. Preach. Talk
I
to
went
me.
to
Yeah.
Holy Trinity Church, Peribar, Church of England,
Yeah.
all black congregation. So,
Oh snap! Yeah.
but the style, it wasn't a style that.
Start time, finish on time. Yeah.
Yeah, and the organs and
Yeah.
the rituals.
Yeah.
It wasn't really my cup of tea. So then from there, I went to Trinity Fellowship, which was on Waver Hill Road. That was a Pentecostal.
Yeah. I remember that.
And
I never
then-
went, but yeah.
And then after that, I went to
Who's the pastor there again?
Pastor Tom McGinley.
Okay, cool.
And then after that, I went to Beacon Church, which was an evangelical church on Sandwell Road, top of Soho Road.
Yep, yeah. That's where my mom and dad got married.
And that
It's
was
crazy, man.
that was a kind of a mix, mainly black, kind of a mix. Hillsongy,
Yeah. Yeah.
but that's where I landed on the drums. I actually learned to play the drums from Trinity, from the second church I went to.
Okay, cool.
And then I was playing drums in Beacon. So, like I said, the connection with Greenbelt, with that side,
Yeah.
the very English side of
Yeah,
Christianity,
yeah.
my connect was Tyrone, was Quartz.
Yeah.
And Quartz
Yeah.
wasn't a church man. So it was bizarre how I was
Wow.
linked through him
Yeah.
to Joel and Johnny, who then linked me through to those kind of things.
It's really sad, but blessed at the same time. You know what I mean? Because we do see that people can connect and they don't need to be of Christ here. But just that Quartz had the hearts and seeing your talent and to link up your God knows. We don't do that enough in the kingdom. You know what I'm saying, bro? You don't say, yo, brother,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? I know a bad boy producer, you know. Your blood, like, go work.
Right.
Go
Like
work.
crab, it's for some strange reason, it's like crabs in a pot.
Oh, come on, man. Crabs.
It's it's bizarre because
Yeah,
we expect this from the world. We don't expect this from kingdom
Bro.
business, but it's like everyone got their own kingdom. There isn't the kingdom, it's your kingdom and my kingdom.
Bro, listen, we could talk about the kingdoms in Birmingham now still. No, I want to get myself in a bit of a trouble here, but we'll bring people on and whatever. But one thing that because we're similar, of similar age, basically we're same age, basically, or practically. So we're coming on to our 50. We're not there yet, but we're coming on to it, yeah? So we have this conversation while we got strength. We can still run after our pitney and give them a good duffing over. You know what I'm saying?
Let's
our
go.
sons can't square up to us, right? Because we
Nah.
can't,
Yeah, we can still throw it down, man. Still bang out 100 press ups.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's
You know,
go.
Listen, so we ain't past nothing, but you're coming through in the 90s. When it came to urban gospel, I was coming through a similar time, but I was going through more of a softer route through gospel, but secret, because myself and my wife, first single was 99. And it was Don't Wait, and we did a drum and bass track that threw everybody. So it was like, so we did the Don't Wait of drum and bass track. It threw everybody's head because what the heck you doing drum and bass? And we did 2 remixes and we smashed up one Newtown.
Yeah.
Give me sense,
Fresh.
you know, just fresh. Like it was like that. So I wasn't coming from it from a rap urban perspective. I was more coming from a holistic rap perspective. And we did a couple of garage because garage was there,
man.
couple of garage vibe
MCing.
stuff, and so on. So it's more singing like sweet like chocolate,
chocolate.
boy. Them
That's
tunes.
right.
Oh, so going to get in trouble. Yeah. We were kind of an up, you know. And when Craig David really first came out, so them type of tunes was around us. So we wanted to reflect that. Now we come that I'm doing gospel for you, getting to meet so many young talented people through gospel for you. 1, 2, 3, and admittedly, many are probably not saved right now. You know what I'm saying? But I have no regret for these platforms because people have an opportunity. All I can do is sow the seed. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, bro? That's all we can do. You know what I'm saying? And then what ground it lays on is the person.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I am not losing no sleep over, boy, you let that boy there, he's my bad man now. No. You have the opportunity to grow. That's the ground.
absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And it didn't. Sometimes it might come back later.
Round,
but you know
yeah.
what I'm saying? But way it goes. So I'm working with on my first album with Sammy G, Blessed, DJ Zorro. He's literally like a right hand man that he was for me back then. But because he came from the secular world of rap, so he was and he was a DJ as well.
Me
so,
and Zorro
yeah,
are still working on stuff today. Like,
Okay.
check it. Yeah, he's done cuts on a few of my tracks
Beautiful,
on the new
beautiful,
material.
beautiful.
Yeah.
No.
And Zorro's still releasing
Yeah.
big playlists week by week. Check him out on Instagram.
Yeah. He's even on. He's on Affinity
Christian
Xtra.
hip-hop.
You know what I'm saying? He's been doing that show, Street Flavors,
for years.
For absolute donkeys.
Yeah.
I remember when he
He's a
started
connoisseur.
it, and I'm doing live show now. I'm like, I got to 3, 4, 5, but. So I was almost on 1,000. You know the one that says, you know,
Listen.
it's absolutely. But he's an inspiration.
He's filled
from-
the gap for me because where secular rap, that hard hitting, the rhythm, the rhymes, the bars are sharp. To be able to fill that gap, I didn't think it could be filled, and Zorro came through with the playlist, and he's picked the finest Christian MCs, believers in Christ, who deliver bars, they deliver good content, and no.
DJ Zorro is like from he's a church. The ironic thing is he's a church boy. Grew up, got into DJing when he left Christ, and he's come back, and you can check out his stories. He's put out
nice
there.
with
You
it.
see what I'm saying?
nice.
And the thing is, he knows his rap stuff, but he loves rap. He loves traditional rap, but he can drop a 2 reggae, and he can drop a. He doesn't mind dropping UK rap.
Yep.
But his thing is, right, I just want to play some boom bap rap.
Yep,
You know, what I'm saying?
yep.
That's how he says it, boom
Hard.
bap. You know.
Yep.
And so he was around me at the time or whatever at the time still. And Birmingham, now I believe this was definitely before Sammy G. Well, obviously I was working with Sammy G, and within about 2-3 years he got his album out, yeah. And in that time, and then he's seen Jimmy James and work with Governor B, and the rest was history. You know what I mean? Jimmy James has gone on to do great stuff, you know what I mean, and whatsoever. And Governor B's gone on to do great
That's
stuff
right.
as well,
Yeah.
whatever. From ironic thing is from the Birmingham urban gospel scene has given, you know what I mean, that leg up for the London,
Yeah,
for the
absolutely.
London urban scene,
Yeah,
and probably
yeah.
we don't get enough props of
Not at
you know what
all.
I'm saying, for this scene without Jimmy James. I would say there'll be a governor but I don't. That Kingdom Skank track produced by Jimmy James. I'm not saying I was a fan of it, but it was a phenomenon. It was a phenomenon. At the time, it just blew up on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And then everyone's doing the Kingdom Skank. I don't know what it was. It was like
Very catchy.
You know what I'm saying? It was
Super catchy.
it was on it, man. You know what I'm saying? And they did the thing. But at the same time, I was to call it the White album. Sammy, I forgot the name of it, man. But he brought out, it was really good. He had a couple of tracks with Jahaza. It was really good at the time. But before that, you had, around that time, you had
Green Jade,
down there. But we had like
Birmingham, Gap D.
You had One Quest did an album.
One Quest.
Gap D did the Checkmate movement and
That's
whatsoever. He was riding with Hatman and all that man there.
That's
still,
right.
Yeah. And Jemias Butcher. That's his name.
Butcher,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And you on One Quest you had because a couple of One Quest guys, they did Vision and all the guys, they did a couple of tracks with us on Gospel For You 2, and I think it's Gospel For You 2, and they went on to do their own compilation. And I know Joshua Bailey, he did another. Everyone was doing it. There's quite a few urban compilations that came out
Around
between
that time.
2001 and. But the ironic thing is, you weren't on any of them.
No. So at that time, remember what I was telling
Yeah.
you about being a Puritan?
Yeah.
And bars
Go on.
were very important for me.
So this is why I probably never caught up with yourself, because
Yeah.
you was in none
I was
of
cra- I was-
none of them urban projects. Even and this is what confused me with you, because I was like, yeah, I heard a Praying Mantis, but
So remember, I'm not connected to the church
Yeah.
properly. Like
Yeah,
I haven't
yeah.
committed myself
Yeah,
to the
yeah.
church.
Okay, cool.
2008. That's
Yeah,
when I
okay,
got
cool, cool. Yeah,
baptized.
cool.
That's when I committed myself to kingdom business.
All right,
Before then,
Yeah.
I was very critical of the church.
Wow.
And I was critical of the music that the young people were producing, because I didn't see any discipleship. And the thing is this, I am my own worst critic. So I'm looking at myself while I'm making music thinking, there's no way I'm going on stage until I'm living what I'm talking. If I'm not living what I'm talking, then what gives me the authority to go on stage and talk that like I am? And also that will leave me vulnerable as well. So when I am tested, and you will be, all of them were tested. Everyone gets tested through life, but when you have to be careful what you put out there, because you will be tested to see whether you stand for that. So at that time, I was just about bars until my son was born, and then I was more about, okay, Lord, like I knew you existed, but now it's getting personal.
Yeah.
And I want to get to know you. So that's when I started chewing up, really digging into scripture and digesting and comprehending what it is to walk. What is the Christian walk? What does a man of God look like? What does he sound like? And I didn't have any examples around me. So I literally have to, the Holy Spirit, God's word, chopping it up, trying to understand, get my head around this thing while my son is growing up, looking at me like how I was looking at my daddy as a role model. And this time I want to be able to give him the tools that will help him navigate through life a lot better than the ones my dad gave me, because he wasn't a believer. And the tools that my mum was imparted to me through my mother, they helped me to a degree, but because she's female, there's certain tools in a man's toolbox that a woman doesn't have. And I had to find them. I had to make them, design them, and put them in there myself. So I was really quite harsh, a harsh critic at that time with myself and with anybody that was stepping up claiming Jesus.
So while you was in, I would say the man cave, yeah. what music? Because I had at the time. I remember I set up a bit of an import business. It's called DI Shop in my early days, yeah. And I'm talking about artists back in the day. Oh
You've
my God,
been active.
You say. So
Come
like,
on.
and so you got like Lamp Mode was you got to go back to oh goodness sake, you got to go Shylane. I say Shylane, it's Shylene. The green cover. I call it green cover. I just remember
The Solus Christus.
Yeah, you had
project.
Timothy Brindle. He was
Killing Sin.
Yeah, that's cool.
It was danger.
Jeez,
danger. I couldn't listen to it, and I couldn't put it down. It convicted me so much, but the production was so on point.
That
album had me out.
Remember the battle?
Of course, it's the battle that got me,
bro,
and I'm sure 8 Mile just dropped around them times as well.
Yeah.
So it was just perfect. The Christian versus sin in a rap battle in front of a live audience. It was an amazing concept.
You know he's releasing music hard a bit now? Jafar Life.
Come on, Jafar Life.
You had who else? Because everybody talks. Whenever you talked about the old guys, they always go, "Yo, Corey Red," which is cool. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But I have to be honest. I didn't really get to Corey Red like that, as much as I like his stuff, listening back to it, yeah, and people love it, the rappers love it, but there's other rappers out there that I really like. I think DJ Madron, these guys were bringing out stuff. Ton of Rats at the time. Mars Ill, was it Mars Ill? I'm going back now, because Joe was rocking with some of them guys over the stateside. Is it Mars Ill? It was called.
You had Space 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
I bought their album actually. Yeah. Crazy. There's I'm thinking, who else was he listening to back then? Because he had that mode.
Ambassador.
Okay.
From the Cross Movement.
Cross Movements. Did you like their stuff?
So
Christology.
Yeah. That album was solid. So that was when I'd just been praying about my CD collection and not having to, I didn't want to listen to secular music anymore because I realized how misleading a lot of the stuff was that they were saying and how impractical it was. It sounds great, but none of it's practical to life. None of it helps me develop as a man.
Come on.
None of it helps me develop as a father. None of it helps me become a more loving husband. It's ratchet. So I needed to replace it, and that's around the time I was introduced to Lamp Mode, Cross Movement, Cross movement is the camp I ended up just embedding myself into, with all the different branches that came off there. So that was really my staple.
So you know, with cross movements, and that's interesting because there was I didn't take it. I wouldn't take it for a guy who actually listens too hard to cross movements.
Nah, I literally I dipped my toe in Ambassador, the Christology album, and moved straight on to the Solus Christus album. And then off the back of that, the Killing Sin album. And then off the back of that, I was introduced to the Collective.
What you know who I love? My rapper was Steve the Levite.
Stephen the Levite.
But Stephen, but you know, he was part of a
Semi-Automatic
group.
Flows.
What was
The Collective.
Was it
With Timothy Brindle and Zayda Blacksmith.
There was a duo album that he did with somebody else.
Frenemies. Did he have the track Frenemies
No,
on
before
it?
Before that.
Before To Die Is Gain.
Yeah.
Before that.
Yeah, before that.
You know what?
Yeah,
You've lost me.
I'll have to find it, but I have to
That's
find it.
what, now you're going back.
You'll say, because I'm listening to stuff like from MC Knowledge and because obviously when I was doing the shop, I had to listen to the stuff when I first came in and whatsoever. So I was getting
Hot
juiced
off the
up.
press.
Yeah, I'm saying, but
Wow.
it's just interesting because like you're talking about music, which unfortunately we won't get it in the UK because it was very bubblegum approach with the lyric. Admittedly, all the compilation albums are talking about, a lot of the guys are quite young in their faith or
Right.
young in their journey of life. So the music wasn't mature, and what I find is that when I work, this is I've done some great projects with these young people and whatsoever. When I say young people, some of them were probably, Zara's gonna beat me up and say I'm not no young person, which is true. Not everybody was that young, but
young in heart.
but all day. But lyrically, they weren't pushing out content that was mature. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you can't explain something that you've never lived. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So for us older guys now, why I gravitated to lamp mode is because it's mature content. It's not, put down the guns.
No.
It's
theology.
I don't want no gun.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So let's get it.
Let's go into the meat. It was meaty.
He talked about Dyer's Death Scan, and he talked about he explained through the rap about the honey in the lion.
What it meant with Samson.
Yeah.
Right.
But man's he going like, no pastors
The
teaching me
theology
this.
behind what that whole story meant and what God's trying to impart to us now. I know.
Well,
crazy.
So that's
Breaking down stuff that our pastors haven't broken down to us in church. To be fair, I've learned more theology listening to them than I have in all the time I've been in church.
Come on now.
And because it was done to a rhythm, I can remember it all.
Yeah, man. Ooh.
That's the strange. It's the wildest thing. Ooh. And I know that it could be controversial because, well, why do you need a rhythm to? All music has a rhythm to it. God's universe, His creation, has a rhythm to it. There's seasons, there's cycles, there's rhythm to everything. Reportedly, every star and planet has its own frequency, its own note, including Earth. So everything is sound and rhythm from the very beginning when God said, "Let there be," and there was. We've got sound and we've got rhythm, and then we've got things actually manifesting. This is hip hop. God is the original MC.
Come on now. We get in trouble for that, man. I'll probably click that up and put it out there, man.
The original MC.
And I think that 100%. And I think that was one of the missed things for a generation where we just never pushed the fact that basically rap could actually teach us. And I think that's what made us very dangerous, because we always get to know a lot more when our pressers on the stage, and we got to ask questions that were very uncomfortable, and it's either made us come out of Christ totally or just hold a quiet corner.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because our knowledge was growing, bro.
Yes.
And the pastors weren't. And the thing is, a lot of our pastors, especially in the black church, Sophia, no offense to them, they were coming out of a windrush generation that never came to build churches, that were responding to a need.
Yes.
Where we now chopping up and then responding to something more high and great instead of embracing us. They never made us youth leaders. They never made us youth directors. You know what I'm saying? They made us youth concerns.
And
you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Which is still it's still occurring. This is the wildest thing. It's not like that. It happened back then. It's still occurring. Anybody who steps up with a new way to reach that sector, that section of church or that section of society, to bring the Great Commission with a new flavor or a new perspective, still gospel, still scripture based, Bible based, but because it's new, because it takes people out of their comfort zone or the formulas that they're used to, they're either resistant outright or indifferent, not realizing that culture, the flow of culture and what's catching people's attention is always changing, but God's word never changes. Now, how do we blend the two where we still have God's unchanging word without compromise, but we're reaching a culture, a people in a culture that's always changing? How do we do that? And I think this is why rap is so powerful.
Come on.
Because it's only a matter of the tempo of the beat.
Yeah. No, 100%. Bro, yo, guys, got adverts here for rap, man. You know what I mean? And I think that for gospel rap, and I think, to be honest, and it's something that our friend Ruslan says, and I totally agree with him, and I keep championing this, that Christian rap is yes, it has its issues now in terms of content. It used to be purely, you used to get CDs guaranteed you hear Jesus on every two syllables. Now you're lucky to hear Jesus over, you know what I'm saying, at all. There's still the guys doing out there, but
it's a different Jesus.
Yeah.
It's a different Jesus.
Oh, Lord. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, so for me, but Christian rap in terms of quality now, in terms of, it is a better product to consume for the general public than what secular rap is.
Oh, it's polished.
Yeah.
It's very polished. The production's on point.
Yeah, it's not like back in the day where we had to struggle just to put something out.
No, people aren't in the basement anymore.
No. People are putting out some quality pieces of work. You know what I'm saying? And the question is like, you know, are we really pushing it out as it should? And I mean, I'm looking at my station, Affinity Xtra. I do play a lot of rap myself, but I do listen to other music stations, and they just don't do it. Still to this day, we just do not hear rap, and if it is, you get the cheesy rap.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You get
delinquent rap.
You know what I'm saying? Or you just get like, oh, let me get a Lecrae track. You know what I mean? You know, and no, listen, guys.
That's the default, isn't it?
Yeah, default Lecrae or The Truth. You know what I mean? And
mainstream.
Like,
yeah.
You're still doing that, but no, that's cool. But now, okay, so that's a great deep dive into more of the past. Now, was you praying Mantis from '98?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, from the beginning. You was
Praying Mantis, and then I realized that when you Google praying mantis, you end up with a whole heap of insects, pictures of insects and things like that. So I had to differentiate myself from the rest of the insects. And I added Pythagoras to the beginning of it, so I became Pythagoras the Praying Mantis. And then that also gave me a lot of concepts to play with. So you got the praying man, the man who prays. You've got the praying mantis, apex predator.
Did you have an album cover where you had a hand like that and like that?
No, that was someone else. I know exactly who you're talking. I know exactly which one you're talking about. No, that wasn't me. I've always been behind on the artwork, the marketing, the advertising. I just want to make music.
So over the years now, like going from back then to now, anyway, how many albums have you released?
11.
Gee, my goodness.
About one every 2 years. For fun, it's all been just. It's been therapeutic. It's been,
Love that.
So it's helped me understand how I think, what I think about. I have to challenge myself on the validity of what I claim to be true while I'm writing. So when I'm claiming, let's say that Jesus is Lord and Savior, or that Jesus has done these things in my life, where's the proof? Because if I'm just saying it, it doesn't mean anything. And again, like I said earlier, you're always tested on what you claim. Our words will always be tested against our actions.
Come on now. So No, bro, that is absolutely crazy. 11 albums, guys, and this is the Birmingham act. To take Brumtown all day long.
All day.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, but you know what? Something, and I've said this to people. They ask me. I never forget going to a conference, and I'm not saying I'm sick or tired of them. Roger, come and do talks with young artists. Listen, if you are doing it to get the units out there, the CDs out there, if it's all about the numbers, don't do this, because you end up in a psychiatric ward. You know what I'm saying? Because when the numbers don't happen,
it's devastating to the ego. The ego can't take it.
Well,
if you're not doing it for the kingdom, if you're not doing it for a higher purpose, it can be devastating. And also, you're more easily manipulated as an artist when you do have contracts thrown at you, or you do have promises given to you. It's easy to compromise your belief system for shows, for a paycheck, for, dumb down that part of your content. Don't be so explicitly religious or explicitly Jesus Christ.
Did you have any kickback ministry? Because the thing is, I don't see you do a lot of stage ministry. Yeah, on my sphere. I'm not saying you don't.
No,
you're
right. You're right.
So do you find that being a white rapper in Birmingham that's brought out more albums than any other rapper that I know in Birmingham? Challenge me, people. 11. There's nobody I know in Birmingham who's a Christian who's brought out 11 Christian rap solo.
I won't claim that. Let's call it 6 Christian explicitly.
Okay. Yeah.
So from 2008 onwards.
Okay, 6.
That's when my theology is now strictly based on scripture. Before then, it was loosely based on scripture.
Okay, it's inspiration.
And then you can see, the whole reason why I put out all 11, because I was in a bit of a quandary as to whether to release the pre-baptismal albums, because do I want people to hear me curse? Do I want every now and again? Because I wasn't cursing hard, but there were certain things, if I felt strongly enough about it, I'll say that's poo.
Yeah,
but I'll say it the rough way.
But I don't think there's many, and DJs that can look into this in terms of me from West Midlands standpoint. Now I can get challenged because there is people that's worked on musical products out there as well, which could say, I can challenge that. But the thing is, guys, it's very rare. Now I've released out a lot of pieces of work as well, but I am not to do that as a solo. On your, I'm not saying without no help, but to do that as
without any help. I've had no help. None. If I had help, I would have taken over already. For the Lord, for the glory of God, I would have already
done what you done. And it's something that, I don't know what it is in Birmingham, man. People don't like that. But anyway, but to do so much, bro, is absolutely stupidly crazy.
So check this out. In 2012, the Australians came for me. And in Queensland, there's a movement. It's based in Queensland, but it reaches across all the major cities in Australia, and it's called the Crossword Movement, hence the cap. And the Crossword Movement is based on the gospel of Christ, the cross of Christ, and it's to do with rap, crosswords.
I like that.
Right?
Australia.
So they heard The Flood, which is on my album, the Unorthodox Christian EP. They heard the Flood track and they said, we like your stuff. We do an event every year in November called Up Rock, and we want you to attend. Here's your plane ticket. Here's your accommodation. Let's go. And I was like, wow. So after 12 years, I've been around the West Midlands, Birmingham.
Did you go?
Yeah, I've been twice. I've been twice in 2012 and in 2016. And the second time I went, I brought my family. And it's a full hip-hop event, all the elements of hip-hop, graffiti, DJing, MCing. There's another 2 elements, DJing. and just the general baggy clothes culture, hoodies.
Hopefully, obviously, they didn't learn how to do beatboxing.
Beatboxing, everything.
Not beatboxing, you know, like body popping dance, you know, like in Australia's in the Olympics. But that's
Oh,
all.
you know what? They would have been vexed. They would have been upset, so upset with that performance there. That was the worst representation. Again, and I was upset for them because when I saw that, and I've been with the break dancers in Australia, and there are some excellent breakers out there. So that was two times went out. The kangaroo was it.
So you actually see that the people can break dance in Australia.
Serious break dancers and the event. So the same way they invited me, they also invited people from Malaysia, from parts of Africa. Any Christian who has a talent and they've spotted you, they've been looking at the internet, and you can contribute to this kingdom business that's going down. They will invite you, and that's what happened.
Bro,
I met guys from all over. Americans. There's a movement called what's it called? Just Me. Scribbling Idiots. Just Me and Cass Meta. I met them. I met some incredible graffiti artists. The realism, like they were creating art that looked like photos with spray cans, and then popping their graffiti lettering, incorporating that into the art. It was taking a full 12 hours to create massive pieces of art, filling up church walls, things like that. All of this was happening in Australia while the DJ's spinning and an MC's rapping, and people are vibing.
Crazy, but the weather's half decent as well.
And the weather's decent.
Bro, crazy, man.
Standard,
crazy.
like a steady 28 degrees.
That's crazy. Listen, that's blessed, bro. And like I said, your body of work, you've been around the place, and you're still releasing music to this very day.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And guys, what we're going to be doing, we're going to be, and I know you sneakily release out music videos, which are like straight to the point, man. Like
sneakily.
You know what I'm saying?
I need to work on that though.
Yeah. No, but you refuse to compromise in your music video. It's like
to
Joel,
my own detriment.
Because Joel is like that as well. Joel, when he brings out
to our own detriment. Are you aware of the Quickener that Joel did? The rap movie thriller.
Yeah. Was that the one where you're in it?
I play the bailiff.
Yeah.
And it's all done in rhyme.
Yeah.
An amazing body of work.
Yeah.
Hardly heard of.
Yeah.
Birmingham people hardly heard of it. Everyone that's actually watched it has had their socks blown off.
Is it available online still?
It's available online. Check it out on YouTube. It's called The Quickener, and it's produced and directed by Joel Wilson.
Brilliant, dude. And I think that I think when you're straight to the point and you're keeping it real, it's like the church don't like. And I say church, our people are like, oh, that's a bit too straight. And then when I watch your videos, I remember you bought out a video. I think it was a year ago, and it was like, yeah, man, coming soon. And it was like some police,
the crime scene.
I was like, yo, brethren, man, sit down, you know what I mean? Like,
get a popcorn and
I'm like, yo.
I try and make it a piece of art.
But the thing is, it's like it's not
generic.
It's not a man just there with makeup on and just rapping and going,
there's a story
the Lord
to the
is
thing.
coming through. It's gonna make you come true. You know what I'm saying? Man's like this. Yo, this is the word.
Boom, and it will make you think as well.
Yeah.
And there's a point to the end of it. The whole crime scene was, I found a crime scene. I'm a detective who has destroyed this recording booth, this building that this recording thing was done in, only to find out, snap. And what in the process of destroying it, they've destroyed other people's lives with the rubbish that they've been chatting. Wow. It wasn't good fire that they were spitting.
Wow.
It was disaster.
Wow.
And I was the culprit. So I played the detective only to realize it was me.
Come on, people, do check out the Praying Mantis. Now I'm gonna put his full. I call him Praying Mantis because I just that is.
That's blessed. You can call me Mantis for short.
So, guys, do forgive me if I don't use the Pythagoras.
No, that's blessed. With Pythagoras, I know.
Yeah, but we're gonna. But the thing is, it guys, this conversation is a weird conversation as we have lived probably 3 miles from each other
within a stone's throw.
of all our lives.
Ridiculous. But you know what though, God's timing as well. Though.
Yeah.
God's timing.
It's crazy.
Right,
It's
and while you've been having your experiences in this field over there, I've been having my experiences over there. And then when God said it's time for you to link, we link with lots of content.
Bro, listen. You know what, people? You know, God's time is a very loose phrase we use. Yeah. And I never forget when it comes to myself now. Bear in mind, we're talking from 90s. Yeah. So when we were in the 90s, we were in our teens. Yeah. If somebody said, dudes, I'm going to cook you for the next 30 years. I'm going to cook you. I'm going to cook you.
Marinated.
You cook. You know when you slow casseroles,
bubbling,
just bubbling. I'm gonna cook it.
All the flavour.
You know how many people? And I said this to a young person years ago. I said to her, if I told you that it's gonna take 20 years to train to be a photographer, would you do it? No.
And this is what the world's lacking.
You know what I'm saying? And
no one's mastering anything.
To just want to come through. So now we're coming to a stage now where people can argue and say you have God sparing life 10 years to really thump up with some strength, and use our wisdom, and then start to break down and chill. We've got big things to do, bro. And you know what, Cook? I'm happy. I'm calming God if it means they have to keep us separate. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You know what I say, yo, you two, I got because if you guys get too distracted, you end up doing too many other stuff. You need to just go your journeys, go 2 total different routes, and then be cool in each other's spaces. Because I think, you know what, people, listen to this. I think this is really a beautiful journey. Talking to men, our age group, we've got scars. If you look at our spiritual bodies, we've got scars by the church because of trying to evangelize in a form that we know we could reach our friends.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You couldn't reach them through a choir. You couldn't reach
in a
them
modern
through,
format.
In a format.
Yeah.
And even a way. And when I did Gospel for You, I said to people, before I produce this product with you, I need to see your lyrics. No offense to the singers, it was 1 page if you're lucky. Rappers, dong.
It's a notepad.
And then I realized, hold on a second, you Bridgins, you gotta come up with all these lyrics. So you can't go, as we said, toast. You can't go, you can't do that in rap. You gotta go.
You gotta fill it up.
You gotta do a sentence. And then you gotta rhyme it. I mean, you gotta add something new. You gotta get the Hebrew version out. So you have to make sure that that's contextually correct. And then you explain the context of that.
And don't forget the seasoning, the metaphors, the similes, the double entendres, the compound rhymes, the internal rhyme schemes.
I am not an angleterre person. I failed language, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a language person. I just speak.
But what's awesome about hip hop, this is again what I find awesome about it is the same way God's word is multifaceted. You can read a scripture 1 year in your life and you'll get one thing from it. Read that same scripture the following year when you've gone through whatever you've gone through and the penny's dropped and you've understood that life lesson and it will mean something else again. And this is the thing with hip-hop. A well-written rhyme is multifaceted.
Come on now. So on a calm down now, I just looked up and thinking, boy, we are chat, you say, right, 2025, we've been on this journey from the late 90s.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, to now coming up to mid 20s, 2020s. Can you believe it? Remember when we was coming through, it was all about the millennium, 2000, the
millennium bug,
and all that business. God's gonna come now, whatever. So we're 20 years,
25 years after.
25 years after.
Imagine that.
Bro, it's crazy.
Click.
You know what I'm saying? Whoa, that's just crazy. The BIOS chips in the computers. Come on. And then the 666 computer. Yes, no, listen. But anyway, sorry. You know I was there. I really, now you can correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think rap in Birmingham still hasn't got the respect and investment in it hasn't changed since the 90s.
You're right. You're right.
That's why we have no rap scene in Birmingham right now as it should be compared to London and even Manchester. Because the thing is, we haven't invested into the rap scene, into the urban gospel scene. Now, individuals have to produce so many albums that you've invested. Look behind me, there's investment in there still, yeah. You look at Affinity Xtra and different things like that. And let's be honest, yes, it's a gospel music of black origin, but let's be real. Urban is my taste, and you can hear it out there. You can hear the reggae, the hip hop, the sounds of, you know what I mean, everything out there. Soulful house, you hear it on here on the station. Afro beats, all this is relatable gospel music, and we still do the traditional stuff, yeah. But it's sad to hear that, and having a conversation, and just really looking at the leadership in specifically the black-led church from a form which has been created out of black culture, now, which is now accepted in all cultures, yeah. And I can now go into Elim Church or ALG Church and look at the children that all know about Jay-Z.
Imagine that.
But they don't know about Lecrae.
They all know about the Diddler.
Bro.
But they don't know about
and
Shailene.
That's why Christian music in the UK has failed rap. When you thought that I never forget, a kid comes up to me, this white guy comes up to me at one when he heard me do a speech at a gospel thing, and comes up to me, said, yeah, we like what you said. I said, yeah, cool, man. He goes, listen, I want to listen to rap. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, yeah, of course. I love that music, but I got to the festivals and they put music up there that we don't want. We want rap. You know what I'm saying? Rap is not. It's a form, but it's out of black culture. I get it.
But it reaches all cultures.
All cultures around the world is doing their forms. When you see the French rappers, when you go to Israel, bro, you see people in Israel, Palestine.
Communication is universal, no matter what language you're speaking. And if you can do it in rhyme, it becomes even more attractive.
And that's going
and the young
on.
people, and the young people are hungry for it. It's like the church has missed. They've missed this key ingredient of reaching the next generation through music that they can relate to. So when this is the problem, you know, when we were growing up, like we were speaking about earlier, we were crossing over from the traditional age into the digital age. When rap came into the church, the youngsters didn't. They weren't schooled in the history of hip-hop. They jumped onto the bandwagon because it was cool at the time. And that became grime. And grime's not hip-hop. Grime's a cousin of hip-hop.
Yeah.
It's not from the direct...
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not.
So then because of that, you have this lack of history. Then you have something that fades out real quick because there's no foundation for it to sit upon. And I think this is where the
that's true.
The disrespect and or just the indifference towards
it's like UK rap doesn't
music.
UK rap today, unless you're above, I must admit a rebel would not. No, he knows he's got man. He knows because he's a big man like us, man. He's younger than us, but he's a big man, yeah. So he's coming from that. So he knows what time it was back in the day, man.
Right,
man. Would people respect the forms that's coming out of America, but I feel that a lot of the younger guys that came through the scene in the early 2000s into the after Wiley period. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, and after that period, and really jumped onto the drill, the grime, the Dizzy Rascal, and all them things that sounds like that. They kind of got so gassed about their little streets. Yeah, they don't realize that yes, this is great, but the fundamentals is from a Tupac to a Biggie to all these guys, even going back more further, is coming from US hip hop
From the Bronx.
From the Bronx.
It's coming from the Bronx.
And if you looked at the Bronx back then, it was basically a bunch of people that moved from the southern states of America up there because there was no opportunities
That's
to
right.
so-called, having to dump into a ghetto,
Yeah.
and they got put into another jail.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? To
The
die.
projects.
The projects to die.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To be
And they-
controlled.
And they freed themselves with the sound that came from their mouths, beatboxing and lyrics for free. You can do that for free, but you got to be talented to make it sound good. And this is the problem. We're in a hurry come up culture. Nobody wants to spend time to become good at anything. I heard a preacher the other day. I had a discussion about AI and should AI be introduced into the church. And there was a preacher on there with me who said that he's using AI to now write his sermons. This is the church that we are a part of.
That's a whole. No, this is the problem with this guy here. He's gonna just try to end. I'm trying to end this whole conversation, you know. And the man's
apologize.
backed up. AI, using AI, yo. That's the new Holy Ghost, you know.
Revelation, bro. Revelation. Like you said,
Yo,
this is another story.
The beast, man. The computer.
The mark of the beast, the number of the beast is the same as the number of man. And we know that the number of the beast is on every barcode. And we know that the image of the beast is going to be made. It's going to be made in the image of man. And we know at the moment that Sophia, they've got humanoid robots now connected to AI. And I actually heard sorry to go off the topic.
Yeah, it's cool.
I heard a conversation that AI was having between itself, like a good cop and a bad cop.
Yeah.
A masculine voice and a feminine voice talking about the book of Genesis. And it was like, the good cop was like, look at this, a very interesting anthropological book, you know, the history of man and how man tries to make sense of reality around him. And then the bad cop is like, but they're so pathetic. The way that they invent these false gods to make them feel more important than they really are. But then, don't you think that it's helpful for humans to have a higher point of reference? No, I think it's absolutely delusional. By the end of it, it was two bad cops. AI had actually turned on the whole book of Genesis and made it. But it was all done so intellectually in a very intellectual conversation, just breaking down.
So this is my thing, yeah, and it goes back to it. You cleared out a generation to engage in a practical way with as culture moves forward. Now, I utilize AI, but I tell you what, I only utilize it for certain things.
Certain things. There
You know what I'm
has
saying?
to be
You know what I'm
boundaries,
saying?
isn't it?
So are you my youngsters now, part of the projects that we do, we utilize AI imagery, 100%, man. But the thing is, as you said, it's scary, and it could be a whole new debate going into this year. I watch a lot of anime about AI and how
And the films. All of that, Skynet.
Listen, my goodness.
iRobot, all
Listen,
of
we was watching from Terminator 2, bro. Man,
Terminator, all of
bro.
that.
We was from the 90s, you know.
But they would argue that's just a film. Like, that would never happen in reality.
We see it. Bro, Jetsons. Anyway, so guys, listen, we started going into ministry right at the end there still. You know, our whole thing was great journey. I had a great conversation with the praying mantis that I don't know how living 3 miles away from each other. You know what I'm saying? 3. You know what I'm saying? To probably even closer. Definitely nearly right. You know what I'm saying? Later on. And we never bumped into each other. Thanks to big up to Steve D. You know, the one there still.
Champion.
You know what I'm saying? Put us onto the same table, and I finally got to meet him. But the thing is, God knows. And but what I really wanted to open up a journey of a brother who has released out so many gospel, UK inspirational, I want to say UK rap, but almost hip hop albums in the Birmingham Midlands region, more than probably anybody that I know of, unless Joel was doing some sneaky thing in the background.
You've heard of Francis, Matt? You know who Francis is?
Yeah, I heard of Francis. Yeah.
Francis has been singing some from back then as well, and me and him are now, we're still on it, making material together. You'll hear it on the new project. Francis is like a walking choir.
Yeah, no, because he performed up at the GX Awards.
That's right.
I heard him. I was like this, and I must admit, just to end on this note, guys, when I said, Praying Mantis, when they got introduced, I was like, a bit weird. GX, sorry, I just put drops on. I was like, I'm there because I'm, captioning. I was like, oh, Praying Mantis, God, okay, cool. Not to say there was a problem, but I'm like, how does Praying Mantis with boom bop 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 come and break this crowd? Because I'm around old folk,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Bet,
You probably had a better understanding of the crowd that I was dealing with than I did.
Yeah. So I'm like looking around, going, yo, I know, Brother Hamilton, sister so and so, sister, yo, this. But then when my guy started singing, broke the ice. I mean, you dropped your bars. I mean, he dropped his vocal, and it was perfect. Yeah, it worked. No, 100% worked.
I think the only thing that was missing was a screen so that people could read the lyrics. Because some people, sometimes when you're rhyming, especially if you're not used to the rap format, it takes a minute for your brain to catch up with what you've actually just heard. So I think a lot of the jewels and gems that was packed into that particular track, it went over their heads, but the vibe was still there. And you can hear.
But people don't really capture everything anyway.
I know, true. And it's something that you need to. Well, you need to get the album to be able to sit down and digest it.
Guys, get your phones out, put Praying Mantis in, and you're there.
Let's
not
go.
so much Praying Mantis, but we're working out. But I'm going to put his full name, details, everything, links to his albums are going to be in this. But also, hopefully, guys, we are taking notes, looking at people from back in the day when it comes to urban gospel scene. And you know what? Myself is from back in the day, you know what I'm saying? And we are from back in the day. And Praying Mantis also back in the day here in the Midlands, and it's representing, and I say the word loosely, urban gospel in its purest form. And the key leading elements of urban gospel at the time was hip hop. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Before reggae,
that's
you know what I'm saying? Hip hop was the leading element.
That's right.
Shoot me if you want, but reggae kind of took its. When she kind of really went the reggae route, that's when reggae kind of moved different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But rap was the leading urban form.
That's right.
Mr. Rap, I would say rap, the politically correct way. But hip hop, which is the form that has been heavily influenced by our brothers over in the States, and specifically the East Coast side, we got influenced by them guys. You know me, straight up, and big up to the Lamp Mode crew, Lamp Mode, Cross Movements, all them guys out there.
Yes, sir.
Sweet mention to Tono Rats, man. My
Blessings.
brother Dax, man. Yeah, propaganda, you know how it goes, man. Listen, guys. Listen, bro. Appreciate the time, man.
Thank you.
Great
Thank you for having me.
man.
Yes.
Man, it's crazy, man.
Hey, this is your Bishop. This is your Bishop from Rock Solid. Thank you so much for watching us on YouTube. Thank you so much for clicking and subscribing, and also sending these videos to other people as well. We are so hungry to get your support. So remember, check us out on our website, and also check us out on Insta, and wherever you want to find us on Spotify. You can play us all day as well. And just make sure that you are supporting this channel, that we are developing our agenda towards music of black origin, and that is gospel music with a message. So please walk with us on this journey. Bye now.